There's a million things I love about Penn State, but I find that I'm a very critical person of Penn State because I care about it so much and I want it to be the best place it can possibly be. One issue that I found about Penn State that really bothered me was this disconnect between, we talk about a Penn State family and this huge community and this Penn State experience, and then you turn around and people don't treat each other well very often. A lot of times you'll see people not looking out for one another, and one of the ways that this really manifested itself in some experiences that I had observed at Penn State was issues of sexism and racism and sexual violence, gendered violence and harassment. At Penn State specifically, they're so in contrast with that sense of values and those experiences that we tend to exalt so often. And so for me, addressing it at Penn State was almost an issue of integrity and sticking to your word and being honest about your experience and about your intentions. Fundamentally, with sexual violence in general, to me it's like a question of humanity and respecting someone else's dignity and honoring someone else just because they're another human being. For me, looking at changing the culture at Penn State is kind of a first step to, changing the culture at large. For the culture to change, first people have to realize that things like that aren't okay. One of the things that I did that I'm really proud of is a speech that I gave at State of State, which is a student conference on the state of Penn State University. I talked about some of my experiences and some of my friends' experiences at Penn State with, sexual harassment and sexual violence. Sexual Violence Awareness Week is something that was started a few years ago. It's a week-long event to raise awareness on campus about issues of sexual and gender violence. I just kind of asked if I could run it this year. It's satisfying to see, the whole week come together and see people come out to the events. We also have Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, which is cool. It's a whole bunch of men. They walk down and back on Pollock Road to show support and solidarity for victims of sexual violence. Student activism really helped to bring this issue to the forefront of the university, and it's been referenced multiple times as being a big impetus for some of the larger university-level initiatives. I want to see Penn State continue to work to be a leader in prevention of sexual assaults and education about sexual assaults and, of course, response. But I also want to see those conversations being started a lot earlier, in high school, middle school. One of the things that I found in my research was that sex education doesn't provide any information to help students understand the world around them. Solutions aren't always easy, and I've always really operated from the perspective that if you want long-term change to happen that makes the world a better place for a long time forward, you have to invest some time and some energy. So for me, I really think it's about working through systems that are already in place and really trying to get at the root of a problem.